Edgar, thank you for taking some time to review your ideas for helping nonprofit boards to do good better. Your book, Doing Good Better, answered many of my questions about improving board effectiveness. But I still have some questions that I'm hoping you can answer for me.
My pleasure, Lynette. Organizations, when you stop to think about it, are an important part of our lives. They provide us with schools, hospitals, churches, a wide array of social institutions right down to the Society for the Preservation of Covered Bridges and Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Organizations permit us to do collectively what none of us can do individually. All organizations, whether for-profit or non-profit, religious or secular, government or private foundations, young or old, big or small, operate with the oversight of a board of directors. Board service can be personally rewarding. It is an excellent way to contribute ourselves through a wide variety of worthy causes. As stated by Dr. Albert Schweitzer, a missionary from an earlier era, we must all share in carrying the burden of pain laid upon the world. Honorable and satisfying as board service can be, the simple truth is that many, I would even say most boards, are not as effective as they could or should be. The widely respected Chronicle of Philanthropy ran an article recently with the headline, "Face an Ugly Reality. Most nonprofit boards don't work." The article goes on to say the widespread failure of governing boards to do their job is the major weakness of the nonprofit sector.
I noticed a special report in Business Week featuring similar problems in the for-profit world in the wake of the Enron debacle. Sounds like a wake-up call.
It is that, which is why it is so important that directors look for opportunities to better understand their director role. First, let's talk about how directors should distinguish their governance role from the role of management. Then I'll share with you what I consider to be the major duties of a board. Then we'll look at some practical steps to make meetings more effective. If we have time, I will conclude with some thoughts on evaluating and improving boardmanship. Organizational effectiveness, as well as organizational decay, begins with the board. Max Dupree, former chairman of the heralded Herman Miller Company, has said, "The interception of entropy is the most difficult thing directors are required to do." Directors are not advisors seeking to fulfill somebody else's dream. Directors are trustees. They have accepted a sacred trust to fulfill the purposes for which the organization exists. The purpose of my comments is to make board service more effective and more enjoyable. And the two are related. When board service is more effective, it is more enjoyable. When boards work in a joyful atmosphere, they do better work. As Abraham Lincoln said so poignantly, "I never thought somebody was wasting his time by stopping to sharpen his axe."
This introductory segment of Edgar and Lynette's conversation is short, but it carries an important message about your job as a director. Let's see if you remember. Consider the following statement and tell me whether it's true or false. The role of a director is to be an advisor. Now, if you answered false, you were right. Directors are more than just advisors. They're trustees. They're entrusted with the guidance and the governance of the organization. The next segment, Chapter 1, tackles an issue that many nonprofit organizations find themselves facing, the dilemma of distinguishing the role of board from the role of the employees or volunteers. Let's listen in as Edgar and Lynette discuss helping directors think as directors.